I never thought I'd be the type of person to post something like this. But I need to get it off my chest. Maybe if someone hears my story, they'll recognize the signs before it's too late. My name's Claire, and I used to believe that bad things only happen to other people. You know, the ones you read about in news headlines, or hear about on podcasts. But last year, I learned that no one is really safe. Not even someone who thought she had everything under control. I'm a nurse. I've spent most of my adult life helping people survive, trauma victims, overdoses, car crashes, you name it. Ironically, I never realized that I was slowly walking into my own kind of trauma. It started with a car accident. A Friday night, pouring rain, and a man who looked like he'd just stepped out of a commercial for heartbreak, calm, polite, a little mysterious. He said his name was Adam. I stitched up his arm, and he made me laugh even while bleeding. When he left, he said, "If I ever see you again, it better not be because I need more stitches." The next day, he sent me flowers at the hospital. The card read, "I'd rather see you without the scrubs next time." I should have taken that as a red flag. But it felt nice. After years of loneliness, the attention was intoxicating. We started seeing each other regularly. He was kind. Thoughtful. He remembered little things, my favorite coffee order, the song that played the night we met. When he stayed over, he made breakfast in the morning. I used to wake up to the smell of coffee and the sound of him humming in the kitchen. But small cracks started showing. He'd flinch every time my phone rang, asking, "Who's that?" Once, I found him staring out the window at 2 a.m., whispering something I couldn't make out. When I asked what was wrong, he smiled, that slow, quiet smile that doesn't reach the eyes, and said, "You ask too many questions." I told myself he was just stressed. Maybe PTSD, maybe an old heartbreak. Nurses fix things, right? But I didn't realize that I was the one being slowly broken. Then came the night I found the open door. It was past midnight. I had just finished a 14-hour shift. My entire body ached. When I saw the door ajar, I froze. For a full minute, I just stood there, listening. Every sound, the creak of the floor, the hum of the fridge, sounded like danger. My cat hissed from under the couch, and my hand shook as I turned on the light. Nothing looked stolen. Nothing except my laptop. My personal one. The one I used for taxes, bills, everything. I called Adam. No answer. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, hugging my cat, watching the window. When he finally showed up the next day, he looked perfectly calm. "Oh, that," he said, shrugging. "I took it to fix it. It had a virus or something." He didn't even blink. Didn't apologize for scaring me. Just smiled that same hollow smile. Days later, I noticed my online banking app kept logging me out. My email too. Then I got an alert, suspicious login attempt from unknown location. I changed my password. Again. But a week later, 2 detectives came into the hospital, asking for me by full name. They said I was connected to a cyber fraud investigation, over $120,000 stolen using multiple fake accounts. And the accounts were traced back to my laptop. My heart felt like it stopped beating. I tried to explain, someone must have hacked me, or maybe used my Wi-Fi. But when they showed me a folder named Claire W. on the seized hard drive, filled with scans of IDs, credit card numbers, and financial spreadsheets, I couldn't even speak. I remember whispering, "That's not me." And the detective just sighed. "Ma'am, that's what they all say." When I got home, Adam was gone. His clothes, his toothbrush, his phone charger, all missing. There was a half-burned photo of us in the sink. I swear, the edges of his face were still curling from the heat. That's when I knew, he had planned this. Every single step. He wasn't my boyfriend. He was my setup. Weeks turned into months. I couldn't work. My employer suspended me pending investigation. My landlord got nervous and hinted I should move out. Even some of my friends started avoiding me. One of them actually asked, "Claire, did you maybe get involved in something? Do you know what it's like when everyone looks at you and sees a criminal, while you're just trying to survive? It's suffocating." I cried myself to sleep so many nights that I lost count. But I wasn't going to let him win. A friend of mine connected me with a private investigator. Old school guy named Frank. Grumpy voice, but kind eyes. He told me, people like him make mistakes. They always do. It took 2 months, but he found him. Adam was actually Daniel Rowe, a former cybercrimes officer fired for evidence manipulation and bribery. He'd done the same thing to 3 other women in different states, dated them, used their access, then framed them for his scams before vanishing. When they finally caught him, he had 2 fake passports, 5 phones, and a list of victims. One of those names was mine. The day they told me he was in custody, I sat on the floor of my empty apartment and cried for hours. Not just from relief, but from rage. Because I realized how easily someone can destroy your life, and how little the system does to stop it until it's too late. He never apologized. Never looked at me once in court. He pled guilty, cut a deal, and walked away with less than 4 years. 4 years, for almost ruining my life. It's been a year since then. I moved to a new city, changed my number, started therapy. But I still can't walk past a man who looks like him without my chest tightening. And I still double-check my locks every single night. Sometimes I ask myself if I'll ever trust anyone again. Maybe that's what he really stole, not my identity, not my money, but my peace. If you've ever had your trust broken like that, please, tell me in the comments. Would you ever forgive someone like him? Or would you want revenge? I want to know what you think, because sometimes I wonder if forgiveness is even possible. And if my story made you feel something, sadness, anger, fear, please subscribe and hit that like button. It helps more people find stories like this, and maybe, just maybe, it'll remind someone to be careful before letting a stranger in too close. Because monsters don't always wear masks. Sometimes, they smile and tell you they love you. And you believe them.